go. It's the Friday edition. Mr. Irrelevant, Alex Strouf, DiMaggio, Will Sommers with you after a big-time Brewers win opening day yesterday against the Chicago White Sox. We will dive into that. We will dive into some Jordan Love conversation and a whole lot more as we send you into a wonderful weekend. Weather's been solid. It's the end of March already. Summer's coming. Baseball is here. Life is good for me. I am in a great mood today because life has been so good. And, you know, Will and I, we do our pre-show jam session. Will, I got to give it to you, man. You are in a terrific mood today.
I'm in a pretty good mood. 97 sleep score last night, so
nice.
I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah.
97 out of that's
highest
out of 100?
I've ever gotten.
Good for you.
No, it's out of 200.
Best night of your sleep ever.
Yeah.
Best
that
sleep
I've documented.
Best night of sleep ever. There we go. I got
documented.
it. Yeah, so Will's in a good mood. Great sleep night for Will. I'm in a great mood. Opening day was fun. We got Thanalysis live at the Riverside Theater tonight. Looking forward to that. And then we got Joshy. Joshy's here. Didn't sleep very well. Got after it on opening day. Got a tattoo that we'll talk about in a second.
Wait, do you know that he didn't sleep well?
I know he was out late.
Was out late. I slept great, actually. It just wasn't a long duration of sleep.
I'm just going to nip this in the bud right away. I don't need your crappy mood today. All right, so shape up.
I've been in a fine mood all day. Will and I have interacted. It's you. You bring it out of me. You bug me.
Will, I've done nothing but be positive.
I hate being in the middle
complimentary.
Of this because I think both of you guys are normal, and then you guys both say each other are being weird.
So that's not what we're going to do.
It was just one offsetting comment.
Will and I's interaction prior to you bursting in the room, quite pleasant.
You told me to go
time.
F myself.
Yes.
In the first 3 minutes of seeing
if
me.
I could.
So what we're not going to do, Will, is hedge, okay? You're going to be on the right side of history. You're going to stay in a good mood. You're going to be positive. We're going to have a great hour-long show, and we're going to get Josh out of his funk because we're good friends.
Okay, I'll stay in my good mood. I'll hold up the first part of that agreement, but I'm not going to try to get him out of a mood that I don't believe that he's in, if that makes any sense.
I mean, that makes complete sense. I'm just being a jerk.
But if you want to, go ahead. I think it'd be hilarious to watch because you're just going to make him a little more angry.
You know it would backfire, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No, Josh is in a fine mood. Everything I said the first 3 minutes of the show were a lie. I made it all up. He's in such a great mood and so focused that he didn't mute his computer before the show. Everything's great. Josh, you got a tattoo at a pop-up shop yesterday. Josh, what did you get tattooed on your body?
I got the racing bratwurst.
Can I ask you a question, all due respect?
Yep.
Why does it look like a ghost?
That is just the way they designed those to look. When you go and do flash tattoos, they're trying to do them as fast as possible, as quickly as possible. I liked his mustache.
That's the bratwurst? Oh, it's a mustache.
Yep.
I thought it was like a shocked face.
I did too. That's why I thought it looked like a ghost. I thought it looked like a floating ghost that looked scared. That's a mustache.
That's a stash.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. I really like the top hat. That the ghost is. Excuse me, the brat is wearing.
I went there and there was various ones to choose from. I thought some of them looked potentially a little more phallic.
Sure. The sausages do look phallic.
Yeah, that's that.
So you thought the top hat brought down the level of in which it looked
fallacy.
Yeah,
what did the mustache have to do with it? Did that have any?
No, I just liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where is this located on your body?
Right here.
On your right arm?
Yep.
Okay.
Right above my scalzo and breast tattoo.
Are you going to get a Mr. Irrelevant tattoo any day?
No.
Oh, wow. That was way too fast of an answer. What could we do to get you? Like, what if you got like Brock Purdy's jersey? It was just like a subtle.
Huh?
Well, Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
In the NFL
I don't
draft.
want to put Brock Purdy in my arm or my body.
Would you ever get Strouf's face like you have Homer's?
No, I haven't earned that.
No.
I haven't earned that. I'm not even going to make him answer that. I'm trying to think of like who is the most obscure but notable.
Would you get
Mr.
a
Irrelevant.
tattoo of Strouf with his bad haircut?
What I would do is get something that was like the skeleton breast tattoo I have is the Grateful Dead head.
Sure. So what could you do?
Right,
Like a dictionary, a thesaurus?
No. I don't think that's all that creative. But I do think there are
MIA?
something like that. Like there's show themes that I would get. I wouldn't get just the name of the program. It's a little
Right, but
boring.
that's where I say like a dictionary.
You know what I would almost get is a cone to commemorate forever the 3-cone drill. Maybe a bench
clavicular?
press.
I don't know.
barbell.
I don't know that the bench press is necessary.
Well, you asked. I gave you some ideas. You don't like them.
Well, it's your body. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, well, maybe I will. Maybe I'll get an image of your pencil arms trying to put it away.
Like a diary wimpy kid
Time
sketch.
out. See, we're 6 minutes in. Is he lashing out or is he not lashing out?
I mean,
I thought I was being entertaining,
What-
providing himself for
what
the
I'm not saying you weren't being entertaining.
I think his point is to be creative with his tattoos. Like he's not just gonna get one that says Mr. Irrelevant in cursive or whatever, like you would get with like your wife or
Josh,
your girlfriend.
what's your least creative tattoo?
My least creative?
Yeah.
This one on my finger here, which is just 2 not shaped together triangles. Somebody had an idea of that going a different way, and it didn't end up, and we just said, oh, whatever, who cares?
We'll keep it.
Yeah, we'll leave it as is. Because then when you start adding too much, then you got your disaster on your hands.
Literally.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That was
I have a
good.
rat drinking a beer. I
That's sweet.
have a bratwurst now. A Homer's face.
I have a friend that just
Grateful
has the
Dead
word
tattoo.
beer tattooed on his leg.
I like that.
I actually also really like that.
Yeah.
I don't have any tattoos.
But it's upside down, so when he looks at it, because it's on his leg, it says beer, but like outwardly, it's upside down. Beer.
Chris and MK, whom I met yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yes, I walked up to the bar and I heard a.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Keep up the good work.
Will. Except it said Josh.
Yeah, except it said Josh.
Somebody walked up to you and said, keep up the good
Chris
work,
and
Josh.
MKE. And I snapped my head around and he introduced
So-
himself. I bought him a shot.
I think that's interesting because that also happened to me yesterday. Same phrase, but they didn't say Josh. They just said, keep up the good work. And I didn't know if that was a pop or if that was just somebody that knew who I was.
Probably. Yeah, they just like recognize
But I
you.
walked into Pato. I was walking over to the sports book yesterday morning, and somebody walked past me. She, like gave me one of the. Dude, turn your mic off. If you're gonna
That
do a
one snuck
hangover
up on
cough.
me.
It was a hangover cough.
That one snuck up.
All right, full transparency. We're an honest program.
Yeah.
How many drunk ciggies yesterday?
Only one.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I feel like it'd be a crisis if you didn't have one. So that's
Yeah.
good to know.
Tend to agree. Actually, It's a
I
good
had
point
him
by
with,
you.
I had one with some of the people who work here.
I don't need to know any further details. Where did you end up?
Just on the Blue Mountain. We take the Blue Mountain shuttles every year.
So you're at like Kelly's bleachers.
Yep.
Oh, were you on the dance floor?
No, heavens no. Not I. There were people on the dance floor.
You're not a dance floor guy, are you?
I'll get on a dance floor.
Really?
Yeah, of course. I'll cut a rug. It's mainly though weddings. Other than that, it's pretty few. Like maybe a live band could get me out there.
People are fired up. You met a member of the MIA yesterday.
I was fired up. I met multiple listeners. I'm going to forget some of the names. I just remember Chris and MKE because he mentioned his username that I see all the time
Yes,
in this program. So that was very easy for me to attach.
got it.
What's the most P1 thing or like a top listener thing someone like from the MIA could say to you where you'd be like, that's a real listener?
MIA
Yeah.
would be right. I'm a member of I'm a proud member of the MIA.
Yes.
Which somebody did say to me at Summerfest last year, but I didn't get their name.
Probably my dad.
I was panicked. It was not your dad. Though he may have said that at Summerfest last year. It was not. It's not who I'm referring to. Interesting. Yeah, Aaron and Matt City, fair point. Alex just disregarded Josh's story about meeting Chris and Bogart
Yeah,
the
great-
whole
It was a
thing.
great
really
by
cool story,
Yeah,
too.
made it
Yeah.
about. That was record speed for making it about.
Yeah,
you.
you're right. That's hand up. Hand up. I did do that. I apologize to Chris. I apologize to Josh. What did you guys take a shot of?
I think it was just whiskey, if I remember. It was like an auxiliary bar, like the quick one you can go. It
Sure.
wasn't like the full. The guy looked at me when I asked for it. He's like, I only have cups, and I said, well, pour it in a cup.
I don't know what's
It's
the
a
problem.
container.
What's the problem? Problem.
Yeah, so I had a good time.
So Tattoo got after it.
Yep.
Witnessed a 14-2 victory.
Yes.
So we had a moment on Wednesday, and this is bad on me. I didn't cut the audio, so I'm just going to tell the story. Wednesday night, it was beautiful on Wednesday. I took the dog on a nice long walk all around downtown Milwaukee. And I was listening to the Weekly Wager, which is Wednesday nights on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee with Josh DiMaggio and Ben Brust from Potawatomi Sportsbook. They were talking about the Brewers. And Josh made a comment, Will, that Sal Frelick might not be an everyday guy.
What I was saying is he is not the level of player who is guaranteed a role. He's the type of player who could fall off and fall into a nobody. He's not otherworldly talented.
So, are you going to talk about how he hit a home run yesterday?
I'm going to get there. Yeah, I'm going to get there. So Soren and Heartland, who's a big fan of Josh DiMaggio, and I say that sarcastically.
My number one op.
He calls into the Weekly Wager every week to tell Josh something. And
tell me I suck in some version.
Soren called in and kind of bombarded him about the Sal Frelick comment, and then finished his call with, Josh, you suck. So I decided while I was walking the dog around, it would be a good idea. I had headphones on. It would be a good idea to call in and tell Josh he sucks because it was Sal Frelick thought. And I did that. It did not go well for me, as it never does when I talk to Josh. Never goes well for me. Never works out in my favor. I got completely destroyed in a matter of 4 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then, one home run for the Brewers yesterday. And a 14-run outing. There you go. Way to turn off your mic that time.
That one I felt coming.
The only home run hit by Sal Frelick, who Josh said might not be an everyday guy.
I mean, it is one game.
I understand.
A lot of MLB players have hit home runs.
I understand that. I understand that.
Yep.
But in a game where your offense is doing a very nice job and only one home run is hit, I feel like it is worth noting that came less than 24 hours after Josh mentioned that he might not be an everyday guy.
It's really not worth noting.
You're anti-Sal Frelick.
I don't think he's the idea of Sal Frelick in your head is much more inflated than the actual.
He's won a Gold Glove.
Good for him. Happy for him.
He's good on defense, and he's not a liability on offense.
No, but he's not. He's not that talented. He's just not.
Oh no, but he is.
He's just like not that good.
No, but the thing is, he
might
is good.
Like he might end up not being in the MLB in 3 years.
Oh,
like,
I think
that's like the type of guy he is.
I think that's ridiculous.
His like if his skills deteriorate in any way, he's not special. He's a good player.
But I would say he's more like he's a good too and could be a great player for his size and for what he provides in the outfield.
Great is not in his outcomes.
He's going to be in the MLB in 3 years. Number one. Number
great
two
is not in his range of outcomes.
With Jackson Chourio currently on the IL, he's their best outfielder.
Okay.
They have a very good and deep outfield.
What? Yeah, I mean, like. They don't have Blake Perkins got recalled because Jackson Chourio went to the IL, surprisingly.
Right, and we saw our good friend Jake Bowers make the start and left yesterday.
He's our good friend.
I don't know why I call him that. I like Jake Bowers.
He didn't hit a home run?
He did not.
Okay.
Only first home run of the season, Sal Frelick. First run scored of the season, Sal Frelick. Just throwing that out there. Not an everyday guy though, according to Josh DiMaggio. Brewers win 14-2. It is one game. I'm being a little facetious when I say all that stuff about Sal. Nice game for him by all means, though. The thing I'm really puzzled by, and I'd be curious to get Will's take on this because Will did play the highest level of baseball of anybody in this room. Shout out D3 Concordia.
If you do the statistics too, a lot higher than the average population.
That's true.
2%, I think.
Like that play collegiate baseball,
collegiate sports, yeah. But it's not that big of a deal.
No, not that big of a deal. Pretty neat.
No.
We're proud of you, if that's what you're looking for.
Thanks, yeah.
Where are we going with this?
Yeah, you're going to ask me?
I'm curious, because you are a catcher, which means you know pitchers very well, obviously, and how pitching works very well. I am a little puzzled by if this is a coincidence or if this is just who Jacob Misiorowski is. Because I remember last summer when we were kind of in the middle of, all right, we're coming off of the All-Star game. Miz is like clearly a good player. After his really, really good start to his career in the major leagues. And the Brewers were in Los Angeles taking on the Dodgers. And that was when they swept them the first time in their first 3-game series. And I think it was game 2 or 3 of that series. Misiorowski started at Dodger Stadium. First at-bat was against, of course, Shohei Ohtani. And he allowed a home run. And then he went on to have just an excellent game at Dodger Stadium. And I don't think that was the only time last year where he started a game, allowed a leadoff home run, and then just settled in and cooked. Yesterday, he allows a leadoff home run against the White Sox. Top of the first inning, first batter, boom, gone. And then he mows down 11 in 5 innings. And he's just terrific. It seems as if he settles in, and he's just awesome. And I'm curious if that's like a mental thing. Does he just need to get rocked right away and then he settles down? Does he have the butterflies? He's not pitching his normal heat? Or is it just a total coincidence that multiple times in his short career he's allowed an early home run and then settles in and dominates? It's something about the psyche I can't quite figure out. Maybe it's not psyche, but I'm curious from your perspective as a guy who played the sport at a high level, higher than 98% of the country apparently. Mm-hmm. What is it with Misiorowski that he allows an early home run often? Maybe not often, but several times in his career that's very young. And then he's just able to settle in. It's just odd. I've never really seen anything like it.
I think it's more of a repertoire thing than anything else, an arsenal thing, because Miz's thing is his fastball, right? It's that he throws hard. And in the early innings, that's when you're trying to establish that. Like, you're never going to go to a game and Miz is going to start off with a first pitch slider. Like, that's never going to happen. It's going to be fastballs. And I think as a hitter, you obviously know that. There's enough tape out on him now where hitters know that they're going to get a lot of early count fastballs. And with how hard he throws, it's kind of just, if you square it up enough, it's going to go far. And then once he settles in and establishes that, then he's mixing in the off speed, he's mixing the changeup, the slider, and then that's when we see him dominate. So I'd say it's more of just his pitching style, opposed to like a guy who's going to throw a lot of junk early in the game and then get tattooed later in the game when the hitters catch on. I think it's just like the way he is, but also like just kind of a little bit of a coincidence. Like, it's not like the home run that Chase Mydroth hit yesterday was a bad pitch. It was 102 on the inside part of the plate, like a very good pitch, and he just got it. So I wouldn't say it's like psyche or unlucky. It's just more of like the type of pitcher that he is.
Interesting. Josh, curious on your perspective, same thing with Misiorowski. Like early home runs and then dominates, 11 strikeouts for him in his first career opening day start.
Yeah, I just think he's a guy who's in the process of figuring out what it is to be MLB starting pitcher day in and day out and keeping the consistency. When you throw it that hard and you make contact with it, the ball's going to go further. So all guys who throw super fast are susceptible to very to home runs and very powerful. Like the exit velos are always crazy. I think it's just the maturation process. I view him as a guy who could be like a potential ace Cy Young competitor. That's going to obviously depend on the amount of innings he's given and the amount of opportunity he gets to do that. I don't know for sure. If he'll be that this year, but if like he's got the stuff, and that's the important thing.
Yes, Will.
So in talking about Sal Frelick, you said one of the reasons he's an everyday guy is because he hit the only what yesterday?
I said he hit the only home run.
Jake Bauers in the 7th inning did hit a home run.
I thought I remembered that.
Hand up.
Good friend Jake Bauers.
Hey, our good friend Jake Bauers did hit a home run. Hand up. I wasn't watching that intently by the 7th inning.
Yeah.
It's fair.
I was going to say, I swore I saw that happened, and I thought I was hallucinating that.
It happened.
Yep.
It did. The score was 11-0 when it happened. Chef Ed is calling in right now.
Yeah, I'm going to take it.
You just want to put him on. I'm sure he's...
If we can, yes.
It works now, to my understanding, that we can take it. I'm assuming Chef Ed, he texted in, Strouf, are you drunk? I am not. But Jake Bauers did indeed hit a home run, so we will allow Chef Ed to make fun of me. Josh, my bad. Hand up. That's my second hand up in 20 minutes.
You're gaslighting me.
Yeah. All right. Chef Ed, you're on Mr. Irrelevant. Go ahead.
Stroufy.
Yes, Chef Ed.
Yeah, did you watch the whole game, Strouf? Bauers hit a home run yesterday. It was Frelick and Bauer.
Yeah. That's on me. Our good friend Jake Bauers did hit a home run. I did not watch the entire game intently, is what I should say. Once Sal Frelick hit his home run, I was in La La Land. I was so excited. As you can understand, I saw you tweeted. I saw you tweeted me when that happened, Chef Ed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but yeah, and also I want to say about the Miz. What I was most impressed was that he actually pitched like an MLB pitcher. I mean, throwing 88, low 90s, painting the corners. He wasn't just trying to blow everything past him. He's actually his repertoire was so much better to start the year here.
All right, two things on that note from Chef Ed, and thank you for the call. We will get to the fact that we can now take calls on this program in just a moment. Will, that's the second time repertoire has been said
repertoire,
now.
Arsenal.
So between hand up and repertoire,
talk.
we've got 2 pops each.
It's baseball notice.
20 minutes in. And also, can you hit the sounder again for an update? We can officially take calls on Mr. Irrelevant, which we thought we could do starting weeks ago. We can officially starting today. 800-990-3776. Is Jacob Misiorowski the Brewers' best pitcher?
He's the only one that started so far, so yes, right now.
But like Woodruff will start
the question
next
about
week.
this is always his consistency. Like, is he going to be able to do it day in and day out like Freddie Peralta did last year? So I think if he keeps it up and is able to stay, like, obviously we're not going to get 11 strikeouts every game, but if he's able to be somewhat consistent, then yes.
I want you to hit your way. Like, is Jacob Misiorowski is yesterday an official passing of the torch from Peralta to Misiorowski as the ace?
He has the best stuff.
He has the best stuff. Agree.
He's the most capable.
He's the nastiest. He's the nastiest. No doubt about that. Josh, how do you feel about taking phone calls on this program?
Take them or leave them. Depends who's calling for what.
Okay. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we have calls rolling in. 800-990-3776. Maybe we only do it on Fridays. Like we make Friday the week.
Phone call Fridays.
Phone call Friday. Just to see how people are feeling about the week that's been on Mr. Irrelevant. We go to the wonderful city of Stevens Point now.
Let's have a quick hook here. People have to bring it or they're getting hung up on.
15 seconds?
Yeah, okay, we'll see what we can do. Let's go to the wonderful city of Stevens Point. Levi in Stevens Point joins us now on Mr. Irrelevant. He is an ESPN Wisconsin legend. Levi, you just heard the rule be made by Joshy. 15 seconds. Your time starts now.
Hey, boys. Hey, Josh, it's nice to talk to you, but I'll be quick. The Miz was fantastic yesterday, man. That's all I got to say. Peace out. Talk to you soon. Whenever.
Love you, Levi.
15 seconds on the dot.
That was
15 seconds on the dot.
Now I'm warming up.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Let's see if we can keep Phone Call Friday rolling. Hit us up.
Yeah.
We can take calls now. 800-990-3776 is your way into Mr. Irrelevant, the first ever call-in edition.
I think our thing on this program has to be 15 seconds or less.
Get it out. Yeah. Have a take.
I'm
Don't
going to
suck.
cut it.
Okay.
Yeah.
15 seconds.
Yeah, no. As soon as the 15 seconds hits, you just drop it.
Except for people like Levi who are our loyal listeners just saying what's up. I won't start it until after that because he deserves that much.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. 800-990-3776, the first ever phone-in Friday of Mr. Irrelevant. Might be the first and only phone-in Friday, 800-990-3776. And by the way, speaking of Jacob Misiorowski, speaking of the phone number, Thanasis Live happening right up the street at Riverside Theater tonight, which will feature, of course, Thanasis Antetokounmpo. It will feature, Ric Flair, the 16-time world champion, the WWE Hall of Famer, the wheelin' dealin', kiss stealing, jet flying, limousine riding son of a gun. I think I mixed that up again. I often do. It's a lot of words. But that is happening, and we have opened up the second deck at the Riverside Theater. And Thanasis Antetokounmpo wants you there. If you text the word LIVE, L-I-V-E, to that phone number, 800-990-3776, you can get up to 4 complimentary tickets as long as supplies last. That is LIVE, L-I-V-E, to 800-990-3776 if you want to get in on the action on Thanasis Live tonight. All right, final thoughts on the Brewers season opener. First time in years I feel like it's been at home, the actual season opener. So that was fun. Because last year was on a Monday. This year was on a Thursday. I much prefer the Thursday, Joshy. I imagine you agree with me on that.
Say that again?
Last year opening day,
Yeah.
the home opener, was on a Monday.
I'm indifferent.
It's a holiday no matter what?
Yeah, I just want it to happen.
Might not happen next year, so fair point.
I do like it feels like it's been a while since the Brewers opened the season at home. It feels like I don't know if it's been like 3 or 4 years consistently where they open on the road.
If only somebody just said that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it takes a little bit away from it to me. When you watch them, you get all excited, you turn on the radio, and then you kind of ramp back up.
Yeah.
Like it's a double emotion. And when it's actually the first day and everybody's starting, it feels a little more special.
I would agree with that.
And having nice weather, which is, I've been opening days where it's been snowing.
Of course, last year.
Yeah.
Last year it snowed.
And that also makes it a little bit nicer.
You fired up about David Hamilton? Started at third base yesterday?
No.
28-year-old?
Probably not. I don't.
Got him in the trade from Boston, obviously. We expected Luis Rengifo to be the day one starting third baseman. That's a position that I think we're going to see a lot of different things at over the course of the next month or so. But Nice day for him overall. Scored 2 runs, had a hit.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to be a guy that Pat Murphy likes and the guys he looks for. Past that, 28-year-old.
Well, you get rid of Will's twin and Caleb Durbin, who was a nice piece for you last year.
My grandfather's very upset about that. Still.
Is he?
Yes, I heard about it on Tuesday.
So it's been a while since we've talked about your grandfather on the show, who's become kind of a character on our show. You won't let him call in, though.
No.
Despite the fact it's a phone-in Friday. He will not be brief enough for the 15 seconds, I would guess. But your grandfather calls you once a week.
Yes.
And he just lays his sports takes on thick.
Mostly Brewers focus.
How old is your grandfather?
I don't know.
A guess?
I would say late 70s.
Okay.
Maybe early 80s. Somewhere in that range.
Do you know how old you are?
Sometimes I forget. I also was gaslit into thinking I was a year older by people in my life.
Being Mussolini?
Yeah. She told me for like a year I was a year older than I was, and then I did the math, and I said, wait a second. I'm not that old. And
that must have been a nice feeling to know that you're younger than
you got a year of life
I saved a year.
You got a year of
Hell
life
yeah.
back.
Yeah. I saved a year.
So how old are you?
37.
You thought you were 38?
Yeah. Literally from August until when I went to New Orleans.
Which was a couple weeks ago.
Yes. Somebody asked me how old I was, and I said the wrong age. And then one of my friends who I've known since I was like 5 years old is like, no, you're not. I said, oh, what? I thought I was.
You literally time traveled.
Yeah.
That is a level of blissfully unaware that I could never be.
There are things that I put stock and value into. My own age and other people's ages is not very important to me. Not a thing I think about often or take a lot of credence. It's just, it happens.
That's fair. All right, let's flip over to the Packers because I thought this was interesting this morning on Wilde and Tausch. The Cousins sub of the day, Cousins subs, we believe in better, was Pro Football Hall of Famer, Wisconsin legend, Cleveland Browns legends, the NFL's Iron Man. Joe Thomas filled in for Mark Tausch with Jason Wilde this morning. They kind of stole my show, Joshy. You see this?
He stole your show.
They did the State of the Packers which I do with Jason Wilde and Gabe Neitzel every year at Summerfest. They did the State of the Packers today.
Was that just what it was labeled on YouTube? Is that why you're saying that?
No, they said it in the first segment. We know it's not a Summerfest Saturday, and but we're gonna do the State of the. It was more Joe Thomas's State of the Packers than it was Wilde's, so I'm fine with it. I'm over it. Just want to throw that out there, though.
I'll have a meeting with them. Talk about your exclusive territory.
Look at this guy.
Because it's just you and Jason Wilde, right, on that show? There's not
no,
anyone
and Gabe
else?
Neitzel as well.
Oh, so it's not.
I said that.
Oh, okay.
It's our show. The
Okay.
three of us.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, so hold on. Hold on. Okay, we're going to get to Joe Thomas in a minute. Josh, would you be willing to refer to Mr. Relevant as your show? You'd say, like, yeah, that's one of my shows. That's my show.
It's more of an R than my.
I can't, like, KBN, I would say is my show, but it is our show as well. It was Kyle, Ben, Brad's, and mine, but that implies it's
I'm
also
not a
mine.
big my show guy.
I'm not, okay. I think I'm being misinterpreted. This is my show, but it's our show.
Yeah, I just don't usually say my in regards to shows I'm on with other people.
Okay, I can see why you.
And I don't hold it against you for saying my. I don't think you're wrong to say it. I just don't call it that.
Will called me out on it, so I'm just saying. Will, if you want to say to people, yeah, Mr. Relevant's my show, I'm okay with that.
I think it's the show.
Yeah, I like that.
How about that?
You know what? No more my, no more R. It's the show. The show. Not bad.
We got some real creative geniuses here.
Yeah.
Oh, me and Will, top of that pyramid.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah, Will might even be higher than me on that pyramid.
Yeah, I got a weird brain.
So does Joe Thomas, who is one of the football's greatest, Pro Football Hall of Famer. And I thought this was interesting when talking about the state of the quarterback position in Jordan Love, who we're all very happy with. We're all very happy with the contract. We're happy with the level of play. He's been awesome for the Packers, and it seems he's only getting better as he enters what is typically the prime age for starting quarterbacks in the National Football League. Joe Thomas had this to say about how Jordan Love can really take that next step in 2026 and what he wants to see from number 10 this offseason in regards to his head coach, Matt LaFleur. Joe Thomas this morning on Wilde and Tausch.
Jordan Love needs to take that step in accountability and leadership and understand that he is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and he needs to go into Matt LaFleur's office and let him know that I want the football. I want to be able to throw the football and have a large input on what we're doing from a game plan standpoint, and then from an in-game adjustment standpoint, from a play call standpoint on the sidelines. I want to be treated with a level of responsibility and respect that Peyton Manning did, that Aaron Rodgers did, that Tom Brady did, because if you want.
So that Joe Thomas on Wilde and Tausch this morning saying, if Jordan Love's going to be the guy, he needs to be treated like the guy. Like Ric Flair once said, you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. And if Jordan Love wants to be the man, he's got to act like the man. And I think this from Joe Thomas was really interesting because it's you got to demand that level of respect now because you've arrived. You are that guy. So let's start acting like it. Go to Matt LaFleur and say, hey, I need to be more in control. Not to the level of Aaron Rodgers in his final 2 years in Green Bay, where he's not listening to the play calling and audibling at the line of scrimmage too often and really running the show. More so, ask for more accountability. Ask for more responsibility. And I think that is necessary. If the Packers view Jordan Love as one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, which they should, and they want to get to a Super Bowl, there's got to be more responsibility placed on Jordan Love's shoulders. So I think all of this is really good from Joe Thomas. Joshy, curious what you think when you hear this.
I think it's fair. I also think it's sort of the natural evolution. I don't think it would be received well if you come in and start demanding stuff as a young quarterback. I think it's as much earned as it is something that you develop into. I think I agree with a lot of what Joe said. I just don't know how much of a make demands and hold people really accountable guy he is. I think from everything we've heard, he's a little bit more of a silent leader than he is the bombastic and outwardly confrontational and yelling at people. Certainly, we saw Aaron Rodgers develop that as he went on, and really holding people accountable, sometimes indirectly to the media. I don't think that is what I would want, but I certainly think. I mean, we were saying it last year. We wanted Matt LaFleur to trust him more than he was and put more on his plate and to rely on him more. And I think that we saw that happen towards the end of the season.
I was just about to say, I think it took a while, though.
Yes, it took way longer than I think we all thought it should have. So I think it's a two-way street there, too, because he's still the play caller and everything's going to run through Matt LaFleur, but I do think they should be a quarterback-focused offense. I don't know if we need to rely on Josh Jacobs as much as we did at early points in the season. Certainly there's games that call for it, and it makes sense. I don't know if Matt LaFleur didn't trust him enough. I don't know if Matt LaFleur just thought that was their best path to winning. I don't know what to make of it, but it certainly changed. And the offense became more and more dynamic as he did do that. I expect him to probably get there. I think most quarterbacks do, especially successful ones. Your paycheck means a lot, and your position on the team sort of just earns you those things, and then it's just getting the best out of everyone around you.
Yeah, I think that's all super fair. And, when we talk about a level of expectation, which we did a bit earlier in the week in terms of the team overall, I am curious how the expectations shift, or do they kind of remain the same from this point forward with Jordan Love, where it's, hey, if you're going to get to a Super Bowl, you got to be a top 5 quarterback in the league.
Yeah. I think it is. I thought he was last year. I thought he cleared that bar and was well above it. I think now it's the consistency and maintaining that.
Sure.
Which was a big thing we talked about heading into last season. That
was the word of the offseason last year when it came to Jordan Love. It was consistency. And I thought he did show more of a level of consistency that he has through the most in his 3 years as a starter. And you think of decisiveness, that was always a big thing with him, right? Making the right decision, making the right read, and being a bit more decisive. I thought he was that. He cut down on turnovers. He threw the least interceptions he has in the 3 years of him as a starter. I thought a lot of that improved. Now, is it to the level of Mahomes or Burrow or Jackson or Allen? Probably not quite there yet, but he's certainly on the precipice. I think he's right on the cusp of being viewed as one of those great quarterbacks in the NFL. And all it takes is a really good, top 5, another top 5, top 7 MVP-like season for Jordan Love. And I think one thing that would really help his case being viewed as one of the best in the league would be winning the division this year. Because this is still viewed as one of, if not the best division in all of the NFL. So if Jordan Love can finally break through in year 4 as a starter and help the Packers win the NFC North for the first time in his career as a starter, I think that would help how he's viewed nationally and throughout the league as well.
I have a hard time figuring out exactly what it will take. I think some quarterbacks get anointed without really having proven all that much, and it feels like we keep sliding the scale exactly on what it would take for Jordan Love to have arrived or to be considered a top 5 quarterback. The easiest way, though, is making a deep playoff run and being that impactful.
That's more important. I agree.
Yeah. I think to a degree, winning the division would be great. But I also just think a sustained high level of play and a more quarterback-driven offense is the way we get there. Because those guys who get anointed and are thought of to be their teams clearly function because of said quarterback, and at times, and especially with Malik Willis, you could say a lot of their success is play caller driven and scheme driven, and not necessarily Jordan. Now, I think Jordan's made. I think he's done more than enough to be considered a top 5 quarterback. He might not be every single year because I don't think he's like an Aaron Rodgers level of excellence. But I think he's probably going to have a handful of those seasons throughout the course of the next 5-6 years, where he might have next year he might be the 11th best quarterback, and then he'll have a really high ceiling, really consistent year where he keeps the turnovers down, and then we'll all be looking at it different. I think everyone thinks of quarterbacking because of how long we watched Aaron Rodgers as just like consistently excellent.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many quarterbacks alive do that.
Only the Hall of Famers.
And I also think there was, because Aaron Rodgers played so well for a long time, people also forgot the poor. They only remember the really, because he was so excellent for so long. Like he had stinkers every single year, but people didn't really latch on to them.
Well, they were pretty few and far between.
Right.
There was like one game a year. Where it was like, oh, what's going on with him today?
Where the hell is he throwing the ball?
Yeah. What happened to him?
Yeah.
But it didn't happen often, which Jordan Love
it certainly happened more as he got older, which is a function of aging in the NFL. That's sort of a thing that just your arm's not going to be as consistent. You're not going to be as mobile. You're not going to be able to do the same things.
You think Rodgers plays this year?
I do.
I do too.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions that popped into my head as you were riffing there, so I'm just going to pepper you with quick hitters, if that's okay with you. Mm-hmm. Where do you think Jordan Love is viewed in terms of the NFC, best quarterbacks in the NFC?
Behind Stafford for sure.
That's the first name that popped in my head. What about like a Jalen Hurts?
I don't have Jalen Hurts above Jordan Love.
He's won a Super Bowl.
He has. He also had one of the best defenses and like an all-time offensive line. And a running back who is having the best year of his career.
Sure.
I don't think Jalen Hurts' ceiling is as high as Jordan Love's. I think Jalen Hurts has some things that hold him back, especially throwing the ball.
What about a guy like Dak Prescott?
I've always been a Dak apologist.
I have too.
I've always thought highly of him, and I think he
gets a bad rap.
I think he's a Dallas Cowboy bad rap, which isn't necessarily fair to him. But Dak is probably more consistent than Jordan, but I don't think is as good as Jordan can be.
Purdy's underneath Love.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold just won a Super Bowl.
No.
Closer than it was?
Closer, yes. He proved it in a big way. I doubted him all playoffs.
Who am I forgetting? Goff?
Yeah. Caleb.
I was staring at Will, waiting to see if he'd chime in with that.
I don't think Caleb's there.
We're going to talk about Caleb and what we missed. I got some things to get off my chest.
His cute little nickname.
I got some things to get off my chest. We'll just leave it at that.
So cute.
Okay. Who's the best quarterback in the National Football League right now?
Right now. I mean, Patrick Mahomes.
Sure, but he's not going to play for a chunk of the season either.
It's somewhere between. I mean, I would have said Lamar Jackson, or Josh Allen.
Yep.
I think those two are probably in the running. Past that, I don't know if I have a really good idea.
Mahomes is the greatest, but we're going to miss a lot of him this season. He tore his ACL towards the end of the season. I think it was week 16 or something. So we might not see him till, say, October.
Justin Fields, baby.
Which is hilarious to me.
Revenge season.
Mm-hmm.
I actually am a Justin Fields apologist.
I gave up finally when I saw him.
The Jets run, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, when
wasn't his best work.
When he had games that he effectively had negative yards of offense, that's when I decided, it's probably time to let this man be free.
Yeah. Who's the Packers' backup quarterback going to be? That's my other question. As I was listening to you talk about
on the roster.
I don't either.
Yeah,
and I don't know if that's a rookie or a free agent, but I don't think they're on the roster.
Yeah, either. I don't.
Who is their current backup?
I believe Desmond Ridder.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I
don't
love
feel
that.
good about that. No.
You know what that feels like again? It feels like Deshaun Kaiser. Just like a dude who kind of had some expectations, didn't really live up to them, and now he's just kind of bouncing around.
Yeah, Kaiser came here though with not really having shown anything in the NFL.
What was that trade? Was it Demarius Randall for Deshaun Kaiser straight up?
So. Yeah. And he was a guy like in the draft people were really high on and thought the Browns made a good move, and then he came here and he just couldn't play.
And he had the opportunity to, which is the unfortunate
Yes.
part. And again, I find it interesting we focus so much time as Packers fans on, oh, God, who's the backup quarterback going to be? Because Love hasn't been able to stay healthy the last 2 years. And
I hate the way Kyle talks about it, like it's a Jordan thing.
Right. It's just football.
He got concussed.
It's football, right?
He got a helmet to his helmet. Not much you can do about that.
No, you cannot. And obviously, Malik Willis was excellent for them in those pinch hitter spots. But I don't necessarily freak out about who the backup quarterback is because, frankly, if Jordan Love goes down for an extended period of time, I think your season's over, as it is with most teams who have great quarterbacks. Take a look at the Cincinnati Bengals, for example. But if there is a 1 or 2 week spot like there has been with
the
Willis,
Bengals, how about Joe Burrow playing in that flag football game and like spin moving against Logan Paul?
Why are they allowing that?
I would be furious if Jordan was
apparently
doing that.
Odell Beckham Jr.'s like stock has gone up after people watched him play.
Yeah,
in
he's the type of guy who
league.
should be in that.
Well, right. So is Tom Brady.
Right.
He's got nothing to lose anymore.
Right.
If he has to use crutches to get up to his Fox TV booth, there's no big deal.
I mean, that was a guy who can't stay on the field, especially like him, to the amount he hasn't been able to stay on the field out there.
Totally.
It's crazy.
Crazy. I'm right there with you. He's had quite an offseason. Relationship gossip, playing poker with Jessica Alba, playing in flag football games. Joe Burrow's had maybe the offseason of NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing to get paid $50 million and be handsome. That's two things that make life a lot easier on you.
2 things I wish I had.
That's why he can wear backless shirts.
I missed this.
It happened last offseason.
Yeah.
He was at like a fashion show and he was wearing a shirt without a back.
Oh, sick. All right.
But he's Joe Burrow, so we can get away with it.
That's true. All right, let's pivot to the NCAA basketball tournament, March Madness. First 4 games of the Sweet 16 last night, and a lot of Big Ten featured. Purdue is going on to the Elite Eight after a buzzer-beating win over Arkansas. Or excuse me, not Arkansas. Arkansas lost to Arizona. Purdue beat, don't tell me, I got this, Texas, thank you, on a buzzer beater. 77-75, I believe, was the final there. On the other side of the bracket, you had Iowa over Nebraska. The 9 seed is headed to the Elite Eight, and they will take on another Big Ten team.
I feel like right now we're entertaining you mentally viewing the bracket so you can talk about it and pat yourself on the back.
No. That's not what's happening.
That's what's happening, right?
It's also like not super hard to remember. There's only 4 games last night?
It's not that difficult at all.
Josh, I would appreciate.
You could also just pull up.
Josh, I would appreciate it if you just let me go so I can get to the point that I want to get to.
I don't like when I can see you doing a thing that's unnecessary, and that's what's happening right now.
Guys, chat, MIA. Am I doing a thing?
Phone in Friday. Is he doing a thing?
You're doing the thing.
Phone in Friday. Am I doing a thing?
800-990-3776 is Strouf doing a thing.
Phone in Friday. 800-990-3776.
I think the people will stand with me on that.
I don't think they will. Phone in Friday.
You don't do a good job of hiding when you're doing a thing.
I'm not doing a thing.
Doing a thing.
I'm trying to get to the point of the Big Ten is ruling the March Madness.
And on top of that, Will and I are well on our way to taking college basketball expert from you.
Uh-oh.
I think I'm in like 7th place in the ESPN Wisconsin bracket.
Okay, let's take a look.
I'm kind of killing it.
All right, my bracket, I'm in 38th of 46. Will is in 3rd. He's tied for 3rd. He's got Purdue winning it all, which was a little scary at one point last night.
Never a doubt.
There was certainly a doubt.
There's lots of doubt.
Real ball knowers, never a doubt.
The ESPN Wisconsin bracket, I am in 402nd place.
I'm in 13th.
I'm in 5th in your bracket, and then I believe I'm in 28th.
I just want to point out,
Josh, you know what? If we beat Strouf, I will let us share the
we
title.
can co-title.
We can, yeah.
Okay, well, I am then
I'll
the women's basketball expert.
Okay.
99.7 percentile for that bracket.
That's your lane.
Apparently.
I didn't make a bracket, so can you still be considered the expert?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I like that. I like the new thing we're doing.
Yeah.
We're just going to do brackets for everything now. I can't wait for our NHL playoffs bracket.
That one's going to be electric.
That one's going to be sweet. It's going to be sweet. So, several Big Ten teams remaining. There is at least one Big Ten team guaranteed to get in the Final Four. Could be 3. With now Iowa and Illinois playing in the Elite Eight tomorrow. The winner obviously will go to the Final Four. Michigan's still alive. Purdue is in the Elite Eight. They're 1 game away from the Final Four. You could have a Big Ten Final Four.
Michigan State's still alive.
Michigan State plays UConn tonight in the top left bracket, and in the bottom right, Michigan is still alive. I'm not doing a thing,
Did
guys.
you forget Michigan State? Or
No,
did you say
no.
Michigan State? Okay.
I said Michigan.
I,
I was gonna say Michigan
I
State.
looked at you and
I thought
smiled
that's why you were smiling
because
at
he
me.
said the top left and the top right of the bracket.
Bottom
when,
right.
When you
Bottom
could
right.
when you could just use the region.
Top left is East. Bottom right, I think,
Has
is
been
Midwest.
that way for
No, it changes.
decades.
It changes.
How many
based
odd-
on the number 1 seed?
How many odd seeds are still left?
Stop.
3. Right?
This
2
is-
3 seeds and a 9 seed.
There's all the ones.
Oh, one.
Stop
Oh, yeah.
letting-
3 1
6.
seeds.
Will.
6. One's an odd number.
Will, you're letting him do the thing.
Well, you just
I tried to
failed
stop
the
the
thing.
thing.
You just failed at doing the thing. You forgot about that.
I forgot
one was an odd
one's
number.
an odd number. I was thinking 1, 2, and 4 were all even numbers.
Primetime Wollersheim is set up right now to have a 20% chance to win based on ESPN's analytics.
Wow. Good for him.
Will's at 8. I'm at like 2.
That means they're still alive, baby. What am I at?
I don't know if they go that far down. Let's look.
My champion's still alive. It should go that far.
Let's look.
I got a 2.5% chance.
Scrolling.
2.5%.
Scrolling.
Show my path to win. I need Iowa State to win it all and Duke to reach the national championship.
I think Iowa State might lose today.
I think they might too. I mean, it's that time of but this is why March Madness rules. Because you see a 9 seed last night in Iowa, and you're like, all right, it was a fun story. Nebraska's the better team.
I mean, even Texas.
Absolutely.
Texas played phenomenal.
They
They were so fun.
they were this close to winning that game
They were hitting every single 3-pointer, it felt like.
against Purdue. So, I mean, March Madness is the best. It's my favorite, and especially this weekend is really when the cream rises to the top and everybody kind of separates themselves. You find out who's really for real is this weekend, obviously, as we get ready for the Final Four next week.
Do you know why people say the cream rises to the top?
I'm going to guess it has something to do with, well, he's asking you too, so do not shy away from this one.
Can I just say the actual saying?
Well, no, but why do people say it is what he's asking. I'm going to guess it has something to do with butter.
It's something to do with crops, cream of the crop.
2 different sayings.
Okay.
And the cream rises to the top.
Oh, because of like soda.
Huh?
Hold on.
No, coffee.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
When you pour cream into coffee, the cream goes to the top.
Well, it's because you pour it on top.
Yeah.
Well, and then you stir it in.
But it could drop.
It has
It
to
could go
do
to the bottom, but it doesn't.
It has to do with dairy and the fat
Yeah,
rising
butter.
to the top.
Yeah.
Butter, dairy.
I don't know if necessarily we're talking about butter here in specific.
The butter rises to the top.
Yeah, no, the
No.
butter stays at the bottom.
No, when
Yeah.
you're making butter, the cream rises. I'm confused by the soda thing.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
I don't know. I was thinking about like root beer. Root beer float.
That's foam.
Root beer float.
Oh, sure, the ice cream. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what? That wasn't as dumb as I thought. It wasn't as dumb as I thought.
I also just worked my way out of that because I didn't know what I was saying, and then I found it.
Yeah.
It was.
You were workshopping on the fly there.
Yeah, it worked out.
So anyway, this weekend is the weekend that the cream really rises to the top in the NCAA basketball tournament. But also, this year has brought more Cinderella, right? I mean, obviously, there's a 9 seed in the Elite Eight. There's an 11 seed that made it to the Sweet 16, almost to the Elite Eight. And it's proving that, I mean, with Houston's loss last night to Illinois, Big Ten might have been the best conference in the country. I think it was between the Big 12 and the Big 10, right? Because when you look at some of the powerhouses, you've got Houston and Iowa State and Arizona, and the Big 12 really good. I mean, Arizona is obviously in the Elite Eight. Iowa State playing for their chance to be in the Elite Eight tonight. But the Big 10 looks like it was the best conference in the country. And right in that mix all season long, especially post-January, was the Wisconsin Badgers, who did not win a tournament game. And now you've got Illinois, who the Badgers beat twice in the Elite Eight. You've got Iowa, who Wisconsin beat in the Elite Eight. You've got Michigan State, who the Badgers beat in the Sweet 16, playing for the Elite Eight. Michigan, same thing. And Purdue, who the Badgers beat at Mackey to end the regular season in the Elite Eight.
I sent you guys this stat earlier, but after Purdue beat Texas, Big Ten favorites are 32-5 straight up in the NCAA tournament in the past 3 years. 32-5, past 3 years. 3 of those 5 losses are the Wisconsin Badgers as favorites.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's just
that's Wisconsin
it's
sports,
become our
baby.
reality.
Yeah, it's Wisconsin sports, baby. How about this from Levi on YouTube? This is a fascinating stat.
Oh.
There's also a possibility for the men's championship game, they could have 2 different teams in the same state play in the national championship game. It could be Michigan versus Michigan State or Iowa versus Iowa State. Fascinating. Is nobody as fascinated by that as I am? When's the last time we had a national championship game feature 2 teams from the same state? Anybody?
I don't know.
Who'd Baylor beat?
You got me.
Baylor beat Houston. I think that would be the last one, right? Baylor beat Houston in 2021?
I appreciate your ability to turn absolutely mundane factoids into something that should be of intrigue.
Oh, thank you. First off, that's a very nice compliment.
That was an insult.
No, that was a compliment. You called it mundane, and you said I made it interesting. You're welcome.
No,
he said try.
Try.
I think dude, that's fascinating. There's only, 12 teams left, and there's 2 possibilities of same state in the national championship. That's cool.
It's more a quirk.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that couldn't be the Final Four, though, because Michigan and Iowa State would, in theory, play Sunday in the Elite Eight. It's good stuff. Levi, I love that. And Dr. Denver Dan chimes in and says, that's totally a compliment from Josh. Thank you, Dr. Denver Dan. My brain is a little tricky, for sure. I do find mundane facts to be rather interesting. And also, amendment, it was Baylor over Gonzaga in 2021. I was wrong.
This is our March guy, though. This is our March guy. Our college basketball guy.
You've earned this title stripping.
Well, let's wait until the tournament's over. How's that sound?
You're not good. You don't got a chance.
Iowa State's going to give me a chance, man. We'll see tonight.
Lose today.
See tonight. They're 4.5-point favorites. See what happens.
It's 4.5 now.
4.5.
Dang.
Yeah.
Got Tennessee at 4.
Not
that anyone cares.
I don't buy Tennessee. I do not buy Tennessee. All right, it's time now for what we missed, what we learned. Will learned. Wait, no. Did you ever tell us? Oh, it just had something to do with dairy. Why the cream rises to the top?
Huh?
What did we determine why they say cream rises? It's dairy related.
Yeah, and like milk.
That's pretty bland.
The cream, the fattier contents rise to the top.
Oh, sure.
It's less dense.
Yeah, like an ice cream float.
Exactly. I thought he nailed that.
No.
Okay. You learn anything else before we get to your quarterback?
I learned if you stop watching baseball games after the first batter, they're a lot more fun. White Sox leadoff home run yesterday was pretty cool. That's pretty much all I learned. Also, Alec Boehm on the Phillies is suing his parents.
That's
I don't
crazy.
know if you guys saw that.
I did see this. They embezzled how much money from him?
I think it was $1.3 million. Would you guys ever sue your parents over $1.3 million?
If they stole
$1.3 million from me,
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
Now, here's the
it's
thing.
$3 million.
Yeah, if they stole $3 million from me, no doubt.
I don't
Now,
think I would.
Here's the other thing. This wouldn't happen to me because my parents are not together. So I don't think they're working together to steal my money. But this is crazy. Now,
This is also not uncommon.
no, but to Will's point, it doesn't get this far typically because it's
Right.
like, all right, my parents gave me everything. The reason I'm in the spot is because of my parents. If they need money, I'm going to give them money. But for them to do it without permission is kind of odd to me.
Yes, that's where, and I don't know what they're assuming it had to be pretty good if they had access to embezzle $3 million from him.
I would imagine so.
Now I don't know a lot about Alec Bohm. How much money is he making?
Pretty good money. He's a good player.
He was a high draft pick, highly touted prospect.
Yeah, because $3 million seems like a lot of money to go missing.
Well, look up his career earnings, and that'll give us an idea of just how much they've stolen.
Does
to the
this
point
change
that
your
it was
mind at all,
recognized.
this quote? Mr. and Mrs. Bohm. You messed me up. Josh messed me up when he said it the different way. Love their son very much, and they're deeply saddened by the allegations.
Oh.
So he hasn't made that much. He's
Really? I thought he got a new contract.
Yeah. So no, he's in arbitration. I mean, he has one more year. He did his signing bonus was $5 million for the high draft pick, and then he made $100K, $400K, $700K, $700K, $4 million, and then $7.7 million this year. So $3 million out of 19. That's a noticeable number. It's not an insignificant.
No.
I wonder if any of it is just that he bought them things and is regretting it, maybe.
No,
and then is
the way they
I want
said
that back. I don't know the details of.
As I say, if it's being framed as embezzling,
It's being alleged misuse / siphoning,
yes,
not embezzling.
So they were siphoning out of his accounts. They were,
Yes, the LLC that he has formed that they are in charge of, and they assign themselves a 10% stake in his LLC.
yeah.
How do you not notice after $500,000 is gone?
That means you have a bleep ton of money, William.
Yeah, I guess.
Something none of us are familiar with.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, excuse me. Last time I checked, I think you still owe me $10.
I do. I still haven't paid that. I'm after the tournament's over, pay the bracket
You should
guy.
pay him a nickel at a time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. It's fine.
Because if you pay before, then you're already insinuating that you don't think you're going to win.
You are one of 3 people that have not paid me yet.
Yeah. Hence why I'm in the top % of that bracket.
Homer,
I have confidence.
Homer is one of the other 3.
Yeah, I want to stay in that company.
But I also don't think he has the app in which I utilize.
Yeah.
Did you Venmo request Homer?
I don't believe he has that.
Maybe Nancy does.
I'm not. I'll ask him someday. Today will not be that day. All right. The other thing I wanted to get to was Caleb Williams versus George Gervin. So last Friday, a week ago today, Caleb Williams officially applied for the trademark of Iceman, which apparently is his nickname. And now George Gervin responded this week by applying for the same trademark. And trademark experts are saying, well, Gervin should get it, and it should be declined for Caleb Williams because he's been the Iceman for 4 decades. However, it could be as simple as I believe is the USTAF or something like that, the Trademark Association of America. They may just look at it, okay, he filed first, he gets it in terms of Caleb Williams. So just to recap Caleb Williams' offseason really fast. He's tweeted about me twice and is filing a trademark for his silly cute nickname.
And his offseason started a week after the Packers.
Well, he's covered a lot of ground. He's bullying me and stealing from George Gervin.
I'd just like to get ahead of it and say I think trademarks are stupid.
I just want to get, I mean, I agree with that. But I would also say this. Caleb Williams is a bully and a thief.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that George Gervin, was the Iceman?
Which one is it?
You're so
Gervin.
youthful.
I know who George Gervin is.
Then you should know he's the Iceman.
I didn't know his nickname was the Iceman.
Chuck Liddell, UFC legend, also the Iceman.
I mean, there's part of me like, hey, man, you had ample time to trademark it if you so choose, George.
I tend to agree, actually.
Right.
I'm obviously joking.
I think the whole trademark thing is, I know it's for like licensing and using items and selling
making
things.
T-shirts, right?
Yeah, but it's just weird.
But also, and this I maybe am saying a little bit out of spite because I don't like the Bears.
You know.
Do we need to be calling him the Iceman after he had one season with a lot of fourth quarter wins? Like, is that moniker going to stick with him? What if they lose a bunch of close games next year? Doesn't he kind of lose like I'm going to lose college basketball
Well, when
expert?
you anoint yourself a nickname and you just like repeat it and make people see it, then it just becomes your nickname.
Right, but let's say they
it's
lose.
sheer force of will.
Let's say they lose, six.
I gotta go.
6 games in the fourth quarter next year.
Yeah, I don't know, but I really do have to go.
Okay, bye. We'll talk to you on Monday beginning at 12:30 Central, ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison. This is the first time ever Josh hasn't made me run late on the show. Thank you for doing that on a Friday. Of course, Mr. Relevant, wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcast, Spotify, the ESPN Wisconsin app. He's actually leaving. Stop. We'll talk to you on Monday. Peace.